Dubai Bling season 2 has just come out on Netflix and it's a very interesting watch. It's about the lives of the rich elites in Dubai and their extravagant lifestyle. And who doesn't want to watch that? The skylines of Dubai, the beautiful locations. It's like a gossip, gossip, gossip all over the show. And if you want to see beautiful locations, extravagant lifestyles, and a lot of money being thrown here and there, and the attitude of really rich, spoiled brats, it's kind of a show that you would definitely like. It's a kind of a guilty pleasure show. So let's discuss all the characters of Dubai Bling and how interesting their lives are. These rich elites of Dubai who have an extravagant life and they have events and parties to attend almost every other day. Someone throws someone a party for no reason and they give it weird names like this is a peace party. And let's discuss all the characters and all their stories, their juicy stories, and their fights and their gossips and enjoy. So the first character that we can discuss is probably Zaina. So she's a self-made woman and she's become very successful. But here she gets into a fight with Ibrahim. So in season 1, Zaina along with her friend Safa, they go and meet Ibrahim in his cafe, and then there is a fight that happens. So now in retaliation, Ibrahim goes there with Dania, his friend, and starts threatening Zaina, and kind of the things kind of get ugly, right? They kind of throw things at each other. So it's kind of like full on big drama that's happening, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of feels scripted because it doesn't seem very real the way they're carrying on and on and on about it after 1 year as well. And then it's such a big thing in everybody's life, and it's a central core of the entire season. So yeah, but it's fun to watch. They kind of have an engaging storyline and they bring out a lot of emotions just with this one story, one fight. So Zaina thinks she's above everyone else, and if someone comes to her and apologizes, then she'll think of forgiving them at her own time and pace when she feels like, if she feels like, and the apology has to be rendered to her with the right intentions. She has to totally say that this apology is genuine or not, and then decide whether to forgive this person or not. So she has a really high expectations from people, and most of them don't really live up to her expectations, and so she's kind of wary of getting close to anyone. But somehow Safa is her close friend. Now Safa, if you see, she herself is a totally entitled brat. She's married to an Indian businessman, and the guy she's married to, Farhan, I think he's the only relatable guy you can say in this whole uh, series. So she is the best friend of Zaina, but you see her always throwing tantrums, wanting more, wanting the best. Nothing is ever enough for her. Like in the season 1, she wanted a bungalow or an apartment, just a house just beside her current house, and her husband, she had to fight a lot with her husband to get it, and then finally she gets it. And then in this season, as a push present for her, she demands a gift, and then her husband doesn't know what to get, whether it's jewelry or whether it's cars, whether to tattoo her name. So, and he does it all in the end, and she still finds some things to add to that list, and she says, you go and speak to Zaina. When she and Zaina have a falling out due to another character in the series. So Zaina and Safa are the best friends in the series, and they are kind of together all the time. So we see LJ. LJ is one of the rich billionaires' widow. She married a man who was 35 years older than her, and she has two daughters. He lost his life to cancer, and now from 7 years she is single, and she's also involved in a long distance relationship with someone. But then when he's a Pakistani model, and when that person comes on the show to meet her and kind of is romantic with her, she is put off. She doesn't like it, and she's not comfortable with love. And she has this whole situation with her mother where from childhood her mother was never around her. So her mother got married at a very young age, around 16, and later on she got divorced and she did not get the custody of her daughter LJ. And so there is this rift between the mother and the daughter, which was also highlighted in season 1. And in season 2, the mother and the daughter finally, with Elo's efforts, met. So Lu Jane is also one of the famous personalities. She helps reunite LJ with her mom. Dania is also hiding one of her businesses from her husband, DJ Bliss. And DJ Bliss is a person who doesn't want his wife to lose focus from her family, because they got married at a very early age of 23, and now after 10 years of marriage they have kids, and he wants her to focus on kids and not focus on different business ventures, and thereby not give adequate attention to him and his children, and he has to take up all the responsibilities alone, which are valid concerns given that it takes two to take a family forward, especially when you have kids, and she's not able to give that needed energy. So when he highlights this point, finally they do agree to find a common ground, but she does not want to let go of her dream of becoming a successful businesswoman. So she joins hands with Ibrahim and opens a cafe, Besties Cafe. And then she also starts another business venture which she hides from her husband, and later on gives him a surprise just 2 days before his main event. So he's not happy with it. Just 2 days before his main event, she had to drop this surprise, in quotes, surprise on him, and kind of it disturbs him, and he feels like she's not really there for him, and there need not have been such a big secret between the two of them, and that is something that LJ speaks about to him. So it was not her place to sit and create more enmity between the husband and wife. So the husband and wife, TJ Bliss and Dania, do have a showdown due to this, but then they eventually understand and find a common ground. So that is shown really well. And this DJ Bliss also has a problem with Chris. Yeah, so DJ Chris is pretty famous in Dubai, and he is a media person and he is on radio and everything. So he kind of wants to reconcile with DJ Chris, but he's not ready to have a talk and come to some common ground. But the way DJ Bliss tries to handle the situation by stalking him and cornering him into talking to him is kind of weird. So it is not something that was done in the right way by him, and I think that the DJ Chris's reaction was right. So Ibrahim is very evidently gay. The way he dresses up, his body language, the way he behaves, everything. Why is he getting in this much of a beef with women on the show? I mean, his behavior is kind of off-putting. He's kind of very mean and highly narcissistic, you can say. It's very obvious with the way he speaks and handles every situation. But he's shown getting married on the show. So yeah, I think based on the country and the religion, they can't really be open about their sexuality. So he still gets married, and I'm not sure, they never show his bride, so they kind of respect that privacy. And he's shown to be someone who holds grudges and can get very mean and evil. He himself says if you throw a stone at him, he will throw a missile at you. So yeah, that is the part of Ibrahim. He's unnecessarily nasty to everyone. And then we have this character Mona. So she is newly introduced in this season. So she's Huda Beauty, the founder of Huda Beauty, her sister, and she also comes from a very rich family background. So she's born in money, you can say, and now she's trying to find her own business, but she's recently also got married. So here her husband wants to start a family as soon as possible, but she is wary of starting it very soon because she wants to focus on her career. She's around 37 years of age. So yeah, her husband's concerns about having a baby soon are also not invalid, but at the same time the husband says things like he doesn't want to change diapers with poop. So that's kind of a double standard. If you want to have a baby, you'll have to do everything as well, share all the responsibilities with your wife. And she is kind of wary, and maybe finally they come to a conclusion of waiting for 3 to 4 months, a common ground. So yeah, so this is, and she throws a lot of events, and there's a lot of glitz and glamour that is added to the show thanks to her. and she seems to be otherwise a decent woman and does not cause too much drama. So we have Lojane, Elo. She's a very good-hearted woman. So we see her backstory where she's been married 3 times, and things haven't worked out for her. And she's recently married, and things seem to be working out now. And she invites people to her house to meet her husband. And they also respect the privacy of her husband, who does not want to be exposed to the media, and they have their own private life. And she also helps LJ's mom reunite with LJ. So she's kind of very good hearted, and she's also experienced the trauma of separating from her kids when she had to break her first marriage at the age of 18. So she lost the custody of her kids. So that is so she does have a tragedy going on in her life. Then we have Farhana. See, she's kind of a social media influencer, and she's all about show off. And she said she set up on multiple dates by this elite matchmaker, and she's always showing attitude to all the guys. And she's if they ask her name, and she like Google me and everything. So she's very narcissistic, but she's also a divorcee, and she's taken 3 years to get over her previous relationship, and now she's in a place where she wants to move ahead in her life. She does have a kid who remains her priority, and finally she ends up dating this Muhammad Ali, who is a boxer, and he seems to be a very sorted guy, totally opposite of her in the sense that he's not a person who shows off that much, unlike her. So let's see how their match turns out. On the very second meeting, she introduces him because he is hot and she likes him. Introduces him to her mom and her kid, and then they meet at his boxing arena, and she introduces him to her friend Ibrahim, and they have a talk. And now finally, when she asks him, "Are you ready to get over your ex and move ahead with us so that we can give this a shot?" And he says yes. Farhana is shown as someone who's very bitchy, very much of a show off, but at the same time, you kind of feel for her like she's had a difficult life and she's trying to come and make things become successful through her social media career. So she does have good side to her as well. And LG, on the other hand, is a billionaire, yes, but and she's beautiful, but at the same time, she's not as good as you would think she is, because here she is unnecessarily causing issues between DJ Bliss and Dania, her marriage, and she was the one who tried to create a rift between Zaina and Safa as well. So by unwittingly or intentionally revealing certain things that shouldn't have been revealed on the party. But to be fair, Safa attacked her first by unnecessarily name dropping. So yeah, you can kind of say she's not that innocent. She's doing things intentionally, even though she apologizes and says she did not. It wasn't her intention to do it, but I think it was her intention. And Safa is someone who is a show off. She's all about the money. She wants the good life and everything. And she has 2 kids, and she wants to get the mommy makeover surgery, which her husband is vehemently against due to the risks involved. And this kind of that might kind of makes sense. The husband's concerns make sense, and she's it's kind of funny and interesting. She's shown as a very stalkerish wife. So she has this app on her phone which tracks the location of her husband all the time, and when he is not at the when he goes to India for a business trip and he's not at the expected location, he's 2 hours away from Mumbai. So she travels all over India, I mean all the way to India with Zaina to give her company. She leaves her kids with her mom and tries to stalk him and find out what's happening and what's he doing. And she finds him at a farmhouse, and he then gives her explanation that he's trying to remodel his existing farmhouse so that his kids can actually come and stay there and see how the life is in India as well, because he is from an Indian background. Beautiful, out of the world outfits of all these characters, and especially when you're wearing all these outfits in India, it's kind of funny. I think everybody would be noticing you. So yeah, I think all in all, it's a really good show to binge watch, and probably gossip. It's all about gossip. It's all about fun. I don't think all of these storylines are that genuine. With of course there are elements which are true, but most of it seems scripted. But it is definitely a great show to watch, and Dubai is such a treat for the eyes. And they also go on some really exotic locations for some trips and get togethers. So I think you should give this show a watch, and it's just amazing. I think it's one of the best shows on Netflix trending right now. So please do give this a try. Please like, subscribe, and share, and please click on the notification icon so that you can get notified